Hello everybody, this is Jacob from Wager Me This, and today I got a $1,000 bankroll, and I want to talk about a little bit of craps. I'm going to call it craps theory, and I'm going to show a little bit of why I think the way that I'm going to talk about. All right, so first thing is you got a couple things that go into craps. You got the natural order of it, right? You got, okay, each number has its own consistent probability to it because you have so many combinations that are possible, and so what throughout the course of your whole craps lifetime, a number should show up this many times, all right? And it's going to stay really close to that. Over the more and more rolls you get, the tighter and tighter that percentage will become. It's the nature of throwing six-sided cubes. All right, you're going to get the same product, right? While it is random as it's referred to, the randomness is quantifiable. You can say these are going to happen this many, this is going to happen this many, and you can say that with assurance, with definitive assurance, because over the course of a lot of rolls, those percentages will hold true. All right, so what's the main percentage, right? The main percentage, the one that matters the most, is the 16.5%, or the 6 out of 36, or the 1 out of 6 that the 7 will show. Craps is based around the 7. The 7 and the 7 only. The whole game of craps is based around rolling a 7 or not rolling a 7. And since it's the highest probability, the highest percentage chance that you'll roll. So when you're thinking about how to play the game, you need to think about the two things. Are you going to go for the 7 or are you going to go against the 7? All right? And you can use the other bets to adjust probabilities per roll. Not overall probabilities, but probabilities per roll. So, for example, when you put a bet on the 6 and 8, you now, every single roll of the dice, you have 10 ways to win and 6 ways to lose. Because you can win on the 6, you can win on the 8, and you can lose on the 7. So you'd say, well, why wouldn't you just always do that? Well, the reasoning is because when you win, you only win once, and you essentially have 2 bets out. But when you lose twice. So when you put yourself in the light side of betting, the side against the 7, where the 7's a loser for you, you want as big of a probability advantage per roll as you can get. So in this case, your probability advantage is 10 to 6. Not bad, right? But it's not even 2 to 1, right? So if you add the 5 and 9 in, okay, now you add the 5 and 9 in. So you added 8 more combinations. Now you're 18 to 6, which is 3 to 1. You should win 3 of these bets for every one time you lose all 4. So keep that in mind, all right? So the probability advantage on the light side is by far the most important thing to being successful on the light side, is maintaining the probability advantage. All right? And maintaining probability advantage should lead you to playing with profit. All right? So every shooter, you should be your very first goal is get to the probability advantage. So I'm talking about light side play here. Get to the probability advantage, which is very simple. You make bets, you get the advantage over the 7 for per roll probability. Your second goal should be, I want to get to profit. So out of my initial bankroll, what I bought in with, what I put on the table, do I have that back in my rack, and do I still have bets on the table? Because that means you're playing on the casino's money. You're playing on the money you've won, and the money you brought in is safe because it's in your rack or it's in your pocket. So that's what I'm talking about here today. I want to talk about taking probability advantage to profit play. And this should be a staple of every Lightside player's game. This should be your first goals. All right. After this, you should be worried about making a lot of money on the light side, where you're press, press, press. But you should be in the profit first. And so that's what we're going to do. We got $1,000. I'm going to play 110 inside because we know the math of 110 inside, right? So it's not exactly like I could play $1,100 and get exactly 10 shooters out of it for sure. But here we go. We're 3-to-1 favorite on the probability advantage starting out right here. Why is that? We got 4 ways to win, 5 ways to win, 5 ways to win, and 4 ways to win. All right, so that's 18. The 7 is our loser, and that's 6. 6 goes into 18 3 times, so we're 3-to-1. All right, so we could rely on that these will win 3 times on average before we lose all 4 one time. So how do we manipulate that to our favor? Well, what we do is after 2 wins, after we win twice, we're going to regress down to 66. And 66 would be a $15 table minimum, right? And let me explain why. So that would be 15, 18, 18, 15. And why? Because if we win on this twice, we'll have minimum, we'll have to have made $70, 35 and 35. And then we're going to play 66. So we're going to put all that back in our rack, and we're going to have $4 extra no matter what. So that's with 2 hits, not 3. So we're taking the probability advantage, and we're actually shortening it. We're going to say, okay, we're only going to take 2 hits. That way we should have the advantage even more often against the 7. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to have everything working all the time, and we're going to see how well we do playing this way. And we have a 9. That's a very good start. All right, so that's going to win 35. So that's hit number 1. $35. Put it over here. All right, that's the first hit. So we're just looking for 2 hits before we regress and play on profit. And the 4, that's not a hit. And the 5, that's a hit. Okay. So now we've won $70 on the 2 hits. Right here, 70 and 70. All right, we're going to regress our 110. We're going to say take our 110 down, and we want to go to $66. Right? Well, this 70, you get 66 out of it. So let's trade that into red. And at this point, let's get some white, 10 of white. At this point, you have $66 on the board, and you have $1,004 in your rack. So no matter what roll comes, you can't be worse off than you started this shooter. You're up $4. That's no matter what. That's done. It's all over with. So here we go. We got a 10. Okay. And an 8. 5, 3. So it's going to win 21. Now remember, this is all profit. So at this point, every hit from here on out is all profit. So it's really up to you how you want to spend it. I would press numbers if I was you. I would also collect, so I would do what I refer to as a half press, which means investing half of the profit. Hard 4. 7 out. Okay. No big deal. We made $13 total profit on that shooter. All right, next run. We're going to go back to 110. All right, here we go. Everything's working. We're looking for 2 hits. We got a 6, 4 deuce. 4 deuce 6. And why does this work again? Why should this work often? Because the true probability says you're a 3-to-1 favorite. But if you're only going to go for 2 hits, you're gaining that whole extra hit, I'll call it, as insurance. And there's the hard 6. Nice. So easy 6, hard 6. It's going to win 35 bucks. All right. It's going to take, well, we'll have 170. We're going to regress down to 66. And drop 10 for some white chips. Put 66 out there. Rack our $4. So no matter what on this shooter, we have made $4. It's in the rack. Free money out there. All right, everything's working. Might as well be on. And we got 7. So that's up to you. I would always work if I was playing this way. It doesn't make any difference because you're using the probability of the game. So you'd have lost. No big deal. I would put the 110 right back out there. Remember, you won $4 overall. And that's the thing about this style of play is people get discouraged because they're like, well, I had just won 70 and now I've only won 4. And that is true, but if you play that way, then you're never giving yourself the chance to win a lot of money on a long roll. All right, everything's working. And we got a 3, 2, 1. Now, obviously, if you were going to shoot, you would have to have a line bet, but that's not the way I'm showing this. And a hard bait, square pair, there's my guys, my friends, square pair. $35, remember we're always working. See if we can get 2 hits in. And we did. 3 deuce 5, 3 2. It's another 35. All right. $70. We're going to take our 110 off the board. And we're going to go 66. Let's get some red. I'm just going to grab this one. $66. All right, we're $4 in the profit no matter what happens. And we got a hard 6. It's going to win $21. And now you can do anything you wanted with this money because this is all profit. Like if you wanted to play all the hard ways, get them. If you wanted to jump over here to the 4, I just like to collect something on every hit. And there's the 4. Good thing we grabbed that 4. All right, so that's going to win 27. And this is the kind of thing that can happen when you're playing with profit. You can make the game speed up really quick for winning. You know, we get a couple more hits, and this has been a pretty good run. There's the 8, 6 deuce. And again, you're playing for free, so there should be no hesitancy to get in the game and press. All right, let's bump these both up 1. Should be no hesitancy because you're playing with no risk to your bankroll you brought to the casino. All right, that's the point made. You could be off or on this come out. That's up to you. I'm just going to be working. We got a 3. And a 9. That's the new point is 9. It's going to win $21. Remember, we're always working because it's free because we're playing on the casino. Now we're going to spread out. We're going to slowly build these numbers up. Hopefully we get 5 more hits. Would be great. If we do, great. If we don't, okay, we're already profitable. There's $27 winner. All right, I'm going to take this up to 30. I'm going to take this one up to 30. Then I'm going to take that up to 20, which would make them a buy. We're going to rack all this other. Nice. So if you look at the rack, all this over here, these two, the red and whites, that's all pure profit. That's our initial $1,000 plus what's on the table. All right, here we go. And we got a 7 out. Okay. Is it a big deal? No. Now, if you were looking for that, if you only wanted to make $100, you could have took that off the table and been gone. But we're here to manipulate the probability of the game in our favor, and we're going to play consistently, and we're going to win that way. And that's what we're doing in this case. All right? When you play light side, you should, like I said, your first two goals. First goal, probability advantage. Second goal, get to profit and only play your profit. That way, when the 7 does hit you, it doesn't hurt you. 110. Let's do this again and see if we can get 2. All right, here we go. Coming out. We're looking for 2 hits. Everything works. And there's the 6. $35 winner. Next one. That's not a bet. I'm just leaving it there. Is the 8. Another $35 winner. This would be ideal, right? First 2 rolls, bam, you're in. You're out. You're going to just say, okay, give me my 66. Let's go. Just put 66 out there. Here we go. All right, now everything's good. Everything's a winner. There's a 10. Well, unless, I mean, as long as we roll a winner, obviously. But we can't lose from this point. There's an 8. That's a $21 8. Grab a dollar out of the rack. We're going to bump that 6. Oops. 6 and 8 there. Nice. Rack $10. It's all profit. I'm just hitting it as much as we can. There's the 6. That's the point. Get shot shooter. We're going to make $28. This time we're just gonna keep pressing the 6 and 8 and see where we get. Let's go. Take the 8 up to that number, 40 deuce. All right, everything's working. There's the 9. That's the new point, $21. I'm going to take this up to 42 like the other one. Nice, rack that up. Looking good, looking good. Can we get one of them? There's the 8. That's the point get shot shooter. So 42, 30 makes 35 plus 14 is 49. Drop a dollar for 50. We're going to go 60 and 60. This is kind of like a full press, but you're getting both of those up to 60 and you're still going to put 14 bucks in the rack. Everything's working. Let's hit some 6s and 8s, baby. There's the square pair that come through. They always come through in the clutch, them square pair guys. That's a $70 winner because we're always working because there's no reason to be off. We're playing with the casino's money. All right, now let's bump that 5 and that 9 to a quarter. So look how quickly we've just took off. Running out of room in our rack here. You have to trade this stack of reds in. All right, I'm gonna get a black chip here. I'll get 4 greens. That way we kind of know what's going on. Nice. All right. Keep winning. And a 4. We don't have that one. We can get them next roll, though. We can pick them both up next roll. As long as we get 1 hit. 1 hit, we can get both of those numbers. There's aces in them, both of them places. Right there. Two ones. And the 5. 3, a deuce. All right, so that's going to win 35, and this is what I meant. So you get 35, and you say, give me 15 on the 4, 15 on the 10. So you get both numbers, which is cool. Let's just do that. Let's get some red. Like that. Now we got the whole board. Made profit. Sitting nice. There's the 8. It's a $70 winner. It's a point made good shot shooter. I'm going to take that 4 and that 10 up to that $25 buy. Look at our board. That's all profit, guys. That's all profit money. We're using the casino to beat the casino. And all we did was choose to play a way that optimizes probability. That's all we did. All right, everything's working. And we got the Yo 11. So all we're doing is optimizing probability. And there's the 3 back-to-back horn numbers. So if you're a horn attacker, you'd have got them there. And there's the ugly one. We were working, so that's a loser. But we didn't lose our money, just lost their money. That was a good spot. We had it up to $220 on the board, guys. It's good. All right, so let's see where we ended up. So obviously we got our 1,000. We never lost no money. All right. It's 175. So we're up $208. Not bad. And is there going to be times that this kind of play does get burnt? Sure. You could get burned on PSOs and some things like that. But the probability advantage is going to hold true throughout the course of craps. The numbers are the numbers. That's what they are. So if you're going to play in a situation where you have a 3-to-1 probability advantage, which is, I'm going to show this again. This is a 3-to-1 probability advantage. All right. And you're only going to play for 2 hits. That means that you're essentially taking away some of the probability of you losing, right? Because the 3-to-1 advantage is if you stay for all 3 hits, most likely you're going to lose before a 4th, is what it's saying. But if you only stay for 2 hits, then get that money off the table and play with just the profit, now you can't lose. And that's the idea behind this. That's why. And the probability advantage, again, I'm going to point it out. You got 4, 5, 5, and 4, which is 18. There's 6 ways to lose on the 7. So 18 divided by 6 is 3, so 3-to-1. You have a 3-to-1 advantage on average, day in and day out. If you play 110, inside, just like this, on average, day in and day out, you should be able to win 3 times for every time you lose. Now, will there be times that it goes one way or the other? Sure. There'll be times you win 15 times on this before you lose. There'll also be times where you roll a 7 right away and you lose. But the overall will be 3-to-1. So what you're doing is you're saying, okay, if the overall is 3-to-1, I'm only going to play for 2-to-1, which gives me even a bigger advantage. And that's using probability advantage to get yourself to profit, to get yourself to playing on the casino's money. Because regressing down to 66, instead of risking your chance to win, because obviously if you don't regress down to 66 and you roll 3 more times, you're going to win more money, right? But you're taking away your ability to lose. And that's a big part of it. The casino, they don't want you to take your money off the table. That's why they cheer you on when you're winning. And they're like, yeah, press, and all this kind of stuff, because they know the longer they can keep you there, the more likely they are to win, right? So if you keep taking your money down and only playing with their money, they really can't ever win your money if you're always playing with their money. And so that's kind of the idea behind this. And that's why when you're playing Lightside, now this is specific to Lightside, guys. When you're playing Lightside Craps, you should always be looking to gain the probability advantage first. And then gain the profit advantage. And then play for free. And that should be your steps. Any strategy in the world will work with this. If you'll do those 2 steps first, any Lightside strategy in the world can be profitable because you're playing risk-free. And so that's kind of the idea behind it. And again, guys, thank you for your time. If you don't mind, go to my website. If you're interested in winning a bunch of these prizes that I'm about to be giving away on May 18th, go to my website. There's a way to enter into it right there. This is helping out my guy that is an ex-throw and his son. They're an ex-throwing team. They are #1 ranked in the world in duels, what's referred to as duels and axe throwing. They're going to be on ESPN for world championships and stuff like that. And they need some. So they're trying to raise some money to travel around and do this circuit, because obviously it's expensive. And so these guys, I'm going to have them give away some of their merchandise as well. So you guys, maybe you guys can be rocking some tomahawk chop stuff, in Cleveland or something, but these guys are real live, real deal. I put their information on some other stuff. They are professional. They own an axe throwing place. So they actually own a business, and it's totally legit. These guys are really good friends of mine. In fact, the dad is the godfather of my children. So that's how close of friends we are. And I'm trying to help them out, and they're going to try to help me out by putting my name big and bold on their jerseys. Wager me this when they're on ESPN. And that's a huge deal for me. Obviously, I don't have to tell you guys why that's a big deal. But anyways, thank you guys for your support. And if you guys are interested in supporting that, just go to wagermethis.com. It's like the third thing you come to, so it's really easy to find. And appreciate you guys. You have a great day.